You've been living with long COVID or chronic fatigue, and you keep wondering why every strategy seems to help a little, but nothing lasts. This interview is for you. We're going to explore what's really going on beneath that cycle of over effort, anxiety, and physical shutdown, and why doing what you suspect are all the right things can actually sometimes keep you stuck. If you've been the kind of person who's always achieved through discipline and control, this conversation may completely change the way that you see recovery. If you're new here, I'm Raelan Agle, and this channel brings you the lived wisdom and the latest science showing how people recover from ME/CFS, long COVID, and other chronic syndromes. I'm so excited to be joined today by Maxime Roumegue, who's joining us from Mayotte, a French island near Madagascar. Like so many people facing these conditions, Maxime came from a background of drive and perfectionism, working hard, giving endlessly, and rarely pausing to ask what he needed. And when long COVID hit, his world stopped. After trying countless treatments, he found hope right here on this channel in the idea that his nervous system had learned to overreact to fear. But it wasn't until he discovered a new approach, not actually related to fear, that shifted everything. If you've ever wondered whether it's really possible to move from total freeze mode to freedom, this is one you don't want to miss. So please join me in welcoming Maxime Roumegue to the Raelan Agle podcast. And just before we dive in, I have a favor to ask. The best way that you can support hosts like me is by subscribing. It helps me to support my team, to bring you the biggest, best possible guests, and to ensure that you never miss an episode every time a new one comes out. So if you haven't already subscribed, I ask you to consider doing so. If you change your mind, you can always just unsubscribe. So take a moment right now. I ask for you to tap that subscribe button and just make it official. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoy this episode. Maxime, so wonderful to have you here. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you to receive me.
So take us back. Tell us about your journey with all of this.
I had a COVID in December 2023, and then things get worse and worse until the classic way of huge symptoms. And I didn't know what to do with all of that. I didn't understand. And I've tried, I think, 1 million things to get better. I went to see people to heal with their hands. I went to see doctors. I've tried many things and nothing was really working, or maybe for 1 day or two. And so I was really scared because symptoms get worse and worse. And then I found your channel. And for me, it has been the first help. I can see there can be something interesting. So I've watched many videos about brain training and all of these things, because in France you have nothing at all for any explanation like that. So I've been watching many things and I've started curable. You say it like that?
Curable, the
Ah,
app? Yep.
yeah. And it was working at the beginning. So I say, okay, I will focus on brain training. And as a good student, I went really into it. And so I had progressed really fast until I get down really, really, really bad. And I had a huge crash like never. So at this time I said, okay, I stopped that. And I was really, really feeling I was freezing in my bed. I was not able to move more than 5 minutes. I was not able to walk, to watch a video or anything. And so it was really, really scary for me, because I remember a video of you, a girl who was talking about the freeze mode was really intense. And I was so scared about that. And then I've seen a video of you, and there was a girl who was talking about MICKEL therapy. I don't know, it was a few months or years ago. And I just remember this sentence. And so I decided to see what it was going on. And then I think 3 days later, I was starting the therapy with David, Dr. Michael. And then things get better and better with
That
never any crash again.
really, that is
Yeah.
incredible. I've interviewed Dr. David MICKEL on my channel a few times. I really love him. He's such an interesting and unique and just smart man. I'm curious, when you first heard about brain retraining and all these things, what did you think?
I remember I follow a MOOC about the brain and how we can learn the pain and these kind of things, and that it was the same way about feeling emotions and feeling pain. And so when there is a dysregulation because of a virus or something like that, you can have problems of connections. And so I've tried the program and I found it really, really interesting. But once again, I was pushing with my head, making things like I will do 5 minutes walk and then the week after I will do that and that and that. So it was really organized
And that helped you
and it
to have
was
it
not
very organized?
connected to my dream.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
yeah,
Because I was really into perfection and being the better version of myself. So I was all the time pushing and pushing to get better, but not in the good way, I will say.
yeah.
I was not listening what was here and why I had symptoms, you know. I was not in the roots of the symptoms.
So, what did you come to see were the roots of the symptoms for you?
The roots were my true emotions, the emotions that was sent by my body. Dr. Michael explained that really well. You have like emotions of the head and emotions of the body. And I like to say it's my inner child, and it's not the same process of thoughts. Like we have always fear and this kind of illness because the mind creates thoughts like, will I be like that forever? Or will I survive to this? And I realized like this high level of stress was not an emotion, but it was a physical state.
Yeah.
And my true emotions were really different than what it seems to be. And in brain training, for me, they focus on fear, like like if the body was scared to everything and you need to reconnect that there's no problem.
Mm,
But with Dr. Michael, you will focus on different emotions, and that's where there was a big change for me
that's incredible.
because I think my primal emotions were really intense, and so they were sending high symptoms and for sometimes small emotions, you know, but you don't listen to it, so the volume is higher and higher and higher.
Yeah.
And I think there were two parts of my condition. Like the first one was the COVID, of course, but I was in a job I didn't like. I was pushing a lot, and I was continuing it. I didn't want to stop the my work when I started to have long COVID, and then I didn't have any other choice. But after you have the part of the illness, and people told you to rest, people told you to make it slowly, to make pacing, and I think I'm really impatient. I need to move a lot, and passing for me was really scary just to imagine that. And I think that was my body who told me, no, 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 don't do that. I want to have fun. I want you to put more limits and do what you want in life more. So I think that's why brain training didn't work with me.
How did you find patience when you had long COVID? Because it makes everything stop, right? And time goes slow. So, how did you
Oh
cope?
yeah. I think I didn't cope really. I remember when I was in the worst, 1 hour was like 1 day or 2 days, and for me it was horrible to live that and to experiment that. And I didn't know that time can be as slowly as it was. I was really scary at that. So I never really coped with that. I just accept it because I didn't have any choice, but it was really, really hard. And I think people don't realize that with these conditions, we feel the symptoms, but under we stay in bed a lot. We don't do a lot. We don't see a lot of people. And we are not in life, you can do what you want, and so you feel really bored, but you don't feel it really because you have these symptoms. But when you realize that these symptoms can be sent by boredom, after that you will say, okay, now I know I have to change something. So it's really changing the way as you see the illness, and you start to do things. At the beginning, you're scared, so you go slowly and slowly.
Mm.
And after a while, you can go better and better. And you can do more and more and more because the head is really, really here
Yeah.
at the beginning.
Some people try and fix each symptom individually, like get rid of fatigue, get rid of pain. Did you find you had to do specific things for specific symptoms? Or was it all just getting to the root of all of them?
I think it can be personal, but my brain fog is really boredom. Like if I spend in a day, like, the person who doesn't have any problem will be at work and have a lot of meetings, these kind of things. And when he come back home the night, he doesn't want to have deep conversation or these kind of things. I think it's the same thing, but with the highest level. Because when I didn't have any problems, I was listening everyone around me, even if I didn't have any symptoms, because I wanted to. It was not possible for me to say to someone, "Sorry, I don't have the space to listen to you because I had a big day." Now this kind of thing have changed,
That's massive.
and so brain fog was really for boredom, pain in the muscles, or when I feel I couldn't move. It was really the limits for me. But I think it's personal because sometimes it's changing, or it's not a science of the head, the mycotherapist. So you don't have rules like if you have these symptoms, it means that. And I think the general symptoms were caused by a lot of repressed emotions, like when you are in cold and hot and the change of temperature, everything. And then I realized that each symptoms can be caused by just a small pain in my body this day, like a small headache will become big. But if I don't know, if I'm a bit cold in my feet, it will be higher and everything is higher.
Yeah. So you mentioned repressed emotions. How do you know when you're repressing emotions? And then how do you stop? How do you fix that?
It's a practice, and the doctor has really simple tools to do that. And when you start to do something, if you want to recover, you need to start doing something, and you will see the symptoms. The symptoms are in a volume, and when you start to do something, the symptoms can become higher. And so it's an information. So, okay, here, what I was doing. Okay, I was having a conversation with someone, and after 20 minutes, I started to have more symptoms. Why? And what's the emotion under?
Wow.
And so after a while, you start to reconnect that. And then you have different layers, like you have high symptoms, and then it becomes less higher, less higher. And then you come back into the feeling of the emotions. We can be really high, and after it comes down, down, down. So it's a process. And you need to go into the world to come back to normal feeling.
So I imagine the answer is yes, but is your life different now than before long COVID? And if so, how?
Mm.
Yeah.
It's
What?
really different. It's really different, even more for small things. Like if I don't want to have a conversation with someone, or if it's boring or these kind of things, I can try to make it to follow the conversation. But after a while, if I don't want to listen, I will find a strategy like everyone is doing who doesn't have these conditions. It's like a connection to itself. Like I put myself first and what's my need at this moment. And if it's an important conversation, of course you have to follow it. But you don't have to do it too much. And I think more you do Michael therapy and this practice, more you are able to do again things that you don't like because your tolerance is more became
Okay.
bigger and bigger.
That sounds amazing. It's a combination of, boundaries and putting yourself first, but then also being able to cope better in those situations where sometimes you do have to stay in a conversation that you don't want to be in because that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's always a challenge, but at the final, you realize that it's really you can do it. And if you can do it with symptoms after in life, I think you can do it most everything.
Yeah. So, you've shared some things, but from all of this, what are the biggest things that you've learned from all of this?
Realize that I've been disconnected to my own needs since a long time. And I found a way to cope with life and having the space for myself. And I remember the first time I reconnect to here. I don't know if you've seen the camera. I was feeling something here and I was crying. I started to cry of I'm sorry to abandon you all of this time because you were here, you were sending me emotions and then symptoms and then higher and higher. And I was just with my head pushing and said, I have to be like this, I have to be like that. But I was not listening to myself.
Oh,
And I think it can be the worst thing now in the world to do to itself.
that is incredible. I love that so much. So, I know that, like many people, this has shifted for you a bit what you want to do, like with your life, with your career. So, how has that changed? And what are you doing now?
Mm. When I decided to come back to work, I'm psychologist and I'm a cook at the same time because I love to cook. So I do the both. I came back to a work because for my head it was easy, like easy job. It was not too much pressure. And I told them I had a health problem. So I said I want to come back slowly to work. And after 10 days, I was already at 40 hours a week, really pushing, everyone running everywhere. And I said, no, I will not survive to that. It's too early for that. And finally, I've done it. I've done it, but after a while, I said, okay, you can do it, but do you like it? No. So after a while, I said, I will not do the same mistakes. And so I quit it.
And what are you doing now?
Now I've been training by Dr. Michael and I'm starting the coaching for French people because there are a lot of resources for people who talk English, but there are
Mhm.
many people I've read in forums who are from Germany, French, or France, or many countries who can't have access to their own language. And for this kind of therapy, of course, it's necessary. And for me, it's very important. I remember when I was really in pain, and I said, if one day I find something who can help people, I want to share that because you know it. I know
Yeah.
your story. And when you have heart symptoms, it's not possible to. You have this high empathy of people who are
Yeah.
still watching us and feeling that.
Yeah. Yeah. As you're speaking, my heart is breaking for all the people in countries where English isn't the first language. Because even when English is the first language, people struggle sometimes for decades trying to find answers. Never mind if you don't speak English. So I can't imagine how hard that is to try and get past this. So this is amazing
And
that
when
you're
you have
doing
brain
this.
fog and you are watching videos with translation from AI,
Yeah.
it's really, really hard to do it.
Yeah. And then you might join a program that's translated, but you don't have a coach that you can work with. There's no person, no human that you can have a conversation with that speaks your language. And yeah, this is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So
And so
if
for the publicity, Dr. Michael have trained people, myself for French language, but there are two girls who are doing in German and in Romanian language too.
Wow, that is amazing. I'll
Yeah.
link in the description and at the end of the video some of the interviews with Dr. Mickel because he's wonderful and he shares a lot of practical information. And we'll link, of course, his program. I think he does a free consultation with everybody. He's just a wonderful guy. I really love him. And people have been telling me for years since I started this channel that Mickel, even if they didn't work with him, that Mickel therapy helped them to recover, just following the
Yes.
principles. So, yeah, he's been doing this work for a long time before anyone
It's
really,
amazing.
many people understood, this approach to recovery.
And we have been really really matching together because he's really funny. And
He
of
is.
course, when you are really tired, is not funny as because you can't have too much stimulation. But when you get better and better, it's really funny, and I needed that because
Yeah.
this kind of illness is not funny, and
Yeah.
people who have these conditions needs a lot of fun to
Yeah.
recover.
Yeah, it's something I'm always aiming to do on this channel is balance out this is serious, but people with these conditions have enough serious, have enough sadness. So how can we bring some joy into all of this? And we know that joy helps with recovery. So, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
When you first got COVID and then long COVID, if someone had told you that this is how you would recover, what would you have thought?
I will say I'm really open to mind body since a lot of time
Okay.
because before my long COVID, I started to have advertisement from my body. I had a lot of pain here in my belly
Okay.
of digestion, but I think I will say it's too easy to work. The theory is too easy to work,
How do you
but
mean?
finally I realize
Oh,
more
I
it's easy,
see. Yeah.
more it's working.
Yeah. It does sound too simple, doesn't it? Almost
Yeah,
insulting. Like,
yeah,
I'm very sick. That's not a real solution.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very simple for the mind, and I
Yeah.
think it shows that in this way to focus on your body because the mind
Yeah.
and people who have our conditions, I think most of them have a mind like that, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And to disconnect with that, you don't have to spend a lot of time here, but more in your feelings. So your
Yeah.
feelings at the beginning is your symptoms.
Yeah. So, what would you say to people? Because we have hundreds of millions of people facing these conditions that still feel like they may never get better. So what would you say to someone, or what do you wish someone had said to you when you were feeling lost or hopeless in this?
I would say that they have to follow what's calling them. When they saw your channel, there are many different interviews. And I would say to try to add at the beginning, even if it's just a bit of fun or something they really like to do in the day, like drawing or some things that you can have access home. And there are plenty of things that you can do at home. So to allow a time for you each day, if you want it, not like something I have to, but when you feel it,
Yeah.
to do something just for you and something that is not useful for anything, just to do something for you.
Right. Not trying to fix yourself, just something for you.
Yeah.
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 I love that. And that is what so many people I interview are saying is helping them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Maxime. This has been absolutely incredible. I really appreciate you sharing your story. I'm so glad that you're training in this and helping French speaking people. And just really amazing that you've gotten past this and you're doing so well. Thank you for being here.
And it's still weird for me to see you and to talk with you because I remember when I was in front of my computer, laying in my bed, I was watching you and I said, I will never survive, I will never do it. And now I'm here. So it's really strange for my mind to see you here and talk with you. So I'm grateful for Dr. Michael and for life, really. And for you too,
I just want
because
to
you bring me to him. So thank you a lot.
very glad to hear. That is the goal. Put things out there and then let
Yeah.
people find hopefully something to fix. I wish I could reach you're so far away in the world. I wish I could just reach through the camera and give you a
Yeah.
hug. It's so incredible. So amazing. All right. Well, I'll link the latest interview with Dr. Mickel here. I hope people take a moment to check it out. It's really great. If anything, you'll just feel more uplifted at the end because he has such a great energy. So him and I will be there waiting for you as soon as you press play. Thank you so much, Maxim, for being here.
Okay.
Excited for the work that you're going to do and wishing you all the best from here. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. And thank you again for all your work you are doing for everyone.
Oh, it's absolutely my honor and my pleasure. I love it.
Because for me, you are really the link from people who are here to everyone. So it's really important what you are doing. I call you the Oprah Winfrey of this kind of illness conditions.
My husband's going to hear about that at dinner. Thank you so much.